kill the streets for 5 minutes.
You said what? I gotta switch out the music. The PD just came right now.
Tory, don't get my phone wet.
You see something?
Yeah, it's over here.
Right.
Had it gone to slide lock because it was empty?
Yeah, it looks like it. Is it warm?
Yeah.
It's warm to touch. Check the van. It's gone, huh?
Okay.
Hey, Walker. Wanna go to the visitor? They need lighter.
It doesn't have
Something? Okay.
I'm gonna just
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We have got it.
That's a lot of blood.
What happened? We have the gun here, and then we have other units. They're searching the house where it happened. So that's all we have so far.
So nothing happened to the vehicle.
No,
As of right now,
we don't have any casings.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, from
Nothing
what you've
to-
been told. Okay.
Does it look like it stepped anywhere on here? Inside? No, not yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
There's some blood up here.
yeah, no. There was a towel soaked in blood
Okay.
at the bottom of this seat, which is where she came out of.
Okay.
See your hands. Show us your hands. Come on with your hands up. Okay, with your hands up, hands up. Keep your hands up. Move back to the sound of my voice. Move back. Keep going, keep going.
And Hollywood, they can stand by having their La Brea and Hollywood or
There was no event, so we had actually got invited by Kylie Jenner to come over to her home to hang out. It wasn't like a party invitation, so we made plans to do that, and yeah, so we just went and attended Kylie's invitation.
And then going to Tory Lanez, how long did you know him for before this whole thing happened?
We actually had met earlier 2020.
And when you say we, I guess I should probably, when you say we, are you referring to both of you and Meg met him around the same time?
Correct.
Okay.
Early 2020, we attended a brunch, a Rock Nation brunch, and that's where we all met.
Okay. And then what would you say was the relationship with Tory, between you, Meg, and Tory, up until that night at least?
Everything was okay. There was no issues. The relationship between me and Tory, it was one of those situations you flirt. This is somebody that Meghann wanted me to, I guess have an involvement with. I ended up catching the virus. Actually, I went back to Houston. Her lease was up with her apartment. Got her apartment situated, caught the virus, and I stayed there. And I guess between that time, Meghann and Tory became close. I don't know what the relationship was, but they were with each other often, and that was that.
Okay.
And then you came back out and met back up with them in California.
Correct.
How long would you say you were back out in California before this night in July?
Less than a week, if not a week, less than a week.
Were you staying with Meg at the time?
That's correct.
Okay. And then that night you said you guys got an invitation from Kylie?
We didn't get the invitation that night. We received the invitation at the music video,
Okay.
which I believe that was maybe 2 days prior to the July 12th, or maybe a day prior to. And so, yeah.
So, did you go to Kylie's house with Meg?
Correct. She asked me to come with her.
Okay. Who else besides you and Meg went to Kylie's house?
In our party, our group, it was me, Meghann, and her stylist, EJ King.
Okay. And then, do you remember about what time you got there?
I want to say around 6, 7 p.m. I believe that's the time we finally got there.
Okay. And so once you got there, what was everyone doing?
So once we got there, it was, I want to say maybe 6 people that Kylie already had present. Meghann volunteered to cook nachos, and so she actually began to cook nachos, and we were all outside just interacting, and then we began to play beer pong.
Oh, there's a pool outside too, right?
There's a pool.
Okay. So you guys were all hanging out. You said Kylie had maybe about 6 or so people there already at the house?
Correct.
Do you know who any of those people were?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know them until that night.
Oh, I see. Okay. Were any of them Tory, though, at the time you arrived?
No.
Okay. Who were the other 6 people, if you remember?
So her 3 best friends, I believe one, his name was Faye or Phi. Well, the other guy, I can't remember his name. There was a female friend of hers, Kris Jenner's husband or boyfriend, Odell Beckham, and Odell Beckham's friend. Actually, 9 people, and then a guy by the name of, what's his name? Their sons to a celebrity was 2, so 9 people.
Okay. So everyone's hanging out. It sounds like everyone's having fun. People were drinking?
Yes.
Okay. And then what goes on as the night carries on?
So, we were playing beer pong, having a great time. Played, she has a basketball court out there also. We played basketball. Meghann was cooking. She came out, and she was just like, oh, y'all having fun without me. And we were like, well, come join us, And so she joined us. We were all enjoying ourselves. Of course, we ended up into the pool, having fun, enjoying ourselves from there. Everybody's still having fun, drinking, consuming alcohol. And that's kind of when the night just began to, I guess, go left a little.
Okay. And when you say go left, what do you mean?
So it was a point of time where I lost my conscience, and due to the alcohol consumption.
Do you know? I mean, it's hard to say because you're losing consciousness, but do you remember about what time it was?
We weren't following with the time, honestly. We weren't following up with the time. We were having a great time.
Did you get a sense of how long you'd probably at least been there before you started, maybe kind of losing out on?
I would say about maybe 10, 11, somewhere around there. Okay. I'll say that. That's not, I don't know how accurate that is. So by the time I came back to my senses, Tory's now here, but everybody's gone. Everybody's gone, and so now it's just me, Meghann, Tory, EJ, the stylist, and Kylie, of course.
Do you have any sense of what time it was when you came to?
No, again, I wasn't following up with the time.
But you were like awake and lucid when Tory showed up?
When Tory, I wasn't there, like I didn't know when Tory showed up. I can't tell you what time Tory showed up. To my knowledge, Meghann called a few people on FaceTime and asked him to come over.
When you kind of came to, though, you saw him there, how were you feeling there at that point? As far as
I was aware. Okay. I was okay.
Okay.
So now we're still in the pool. It's Kylie, Tory, and Meghann. They're kind of in like an area. I'm actually in the hot tub at this point. I believe that was a hot tub. I can't remember if that was a hot tub or just a smaller pool she has. EJ is sitting. She has like a cabana style setup. Mm-hmm. He's sitting over there on his phone. So we're all just kind of just minding our business. You can hear at the end of the pool, Meghann is just like laughing uncontrollably. And it wasn't normal. I never heard her laugh like this, so you can kind of tell something was wrong. Tory did call for my name, and I acted like I didn't hear it. And Meghann was like, no, come back. I heard that, but Tory was going between Meghann and Kylie, and EJ said, Kelsey, you know, it's time to go. Like, let's go. It's getting late. The alcohol consumption, like it's time to go. So I said, okay, you know, I told Meghann, hey, like, let's go. And she didn't want to leave. So I just went upstairs. I was going to go pack our suitcases because Kylie had, when we got there, Kylie led us to a room where we can change and hang out and sleep or whatever. So I went upstairs to pack our suitcases. They were already packed. EJ had packed them. So I put my, it's like a pajama set on. It's a top and a bottom. So I put my set on. I came back downstairs. I loaded EJ's vehicle, who we rode with. I loaded his vehicle with our suitcases. And, you know, at that point, I went back in. She wasn't ready to go. So me and EJ stayed outside. I sat inside of the car with Tory security.
Do you know that guy's name?
Quan.
Okay.
Quan.
Now, he was security. Was he also basically Tory's driver, too?
Tory's security driver friend. You know, kind of just playing all of the roles, right.
Did you know him before this date, Quan?
I honestly had never met Quan.
Okay, that was the first time you
That was my first time meeting Quan.
Did you know, was he like local to LA or did he travel with Tory? Do you know?
I know he didn't travel with Tory because, like I said, that was my first time meeting him. I don't know when Quan came in or how long they've been acquainted, or he was just there for that night. I can't tell you.
So he had a separate car.
Tory had a separate car.
And that's the car you got into?
That's the car I got into. I sat in the front seat. Quan sat in his driver's seat. And I was actually on FaceTime with my sister, and we were talking, you know, just kind of one of those things like, girl, you know, like, I can't believe we're here. You know, we used to watch this growing up.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're talking regular talk. And then so EJ says, Kelsey, tell Meghann it's time to go. Her wig is coming off of her head. So at that point, it's like, okay, no, we have to go because her appearance isn't, you know, it's not holding up correctly.
Yeah.
So I went inside and I said, Meghann, like, let's go. She didn't even know her wig was coming off. And I said, your wig. So that made her come on and get up out the pool. So Tory stayed in with Kylie. So we come outside. This time, you know, we're making our plans to leave. I guess at some point she tells EJ, no, Tory's taking us home. So they transferred the luggage from EJ's car to Tory's car. And so once they did that, Meghann jumped in the front seat. Now Quan's driving, and I'm in the back seat behind Meghann.
And EJ just drives off in his own car, right?
Not just yet.
Okay.
So I want to be clear and make sure I'm not losing my. Okay, so once we do that, okay, Meghann, she tells Quan to get Tory, like it's time to go. So Quan goes in to grab Tory. We stay in the car. Tory comes out and he's like, no, take them home. You know, his demeanor was, he didn't want to get in the car. Why? You know, I don't know.
Tory didn't want to get in the car.
Tory didn't want to get in the car.
Did he seem upset at all?
It wasn't that he was upset. I think he wasn't upset. He just he did not want to get in the car. Okay. He didn't want to get in the car with us. Okay. Like I said, at that point, I'm not aware of why. So anyways, we leave. So Tory stays at the house with Kylie. It's me, Quan, and Meghann. So we leave. EJ follows out behind us. He goes home because there's no reason for him to follow us. He's going home. So as we're leaving, Meghann is still doing this laugh. I'm kind of just in the back seat, just like, I don't know, just in the back seat. And then I guess she realizes that she had left a slipper, a Louis Vuitton slide that she wears. And so she demanded Quan to take us back to Kylie's. And so we pull up to Kylie's house, and everybody's kind of confused. Her security guards are outside, probably like 6 security guards.
You're talking about Kylie's security guards?
Correct. And he calls to see if it's okay. We come back, and they let us in. So once they let us in, Meghann jumps out the vehicle. I stay in the vehicle. Quan follows behind Meghann, so it's just me at this point.
Oh, Quan actually gets out of the car with Meg.
Right.
Okay.
So they're inside. It's for a little moment. Then immediately they rush out. Everybody rushes out.
Who's everybody? Okay.
Tory, Quan, Meghann. Kylie, she comes out, but she stays on her porch or her door entry. So Meghann jumps back in the front seat. Tory gets in the car, which is now he's behind Quan. He's behind the driver. I'm still behind the front passenger. And Meghann says, sorry, I got to cuss. But she says, bitch. Kylie said, we got to get the fuck out of here. And I was like, what? Like, why? And so Quan was like, they were in there arguing. I guess Tory and Meghann. And so what they were arguing about, I don't know. So it was kind of like, whoa, okay. And now we're leaving.
And so Megann's in the front, Quan's driving, you're in the back seat behind Quan.
Meghann.
Or behind Meghann, and Tory's behind Quan.
Correct.
Okay.
So we're leaving. We're driving, going down the road. Meghann is laughing still. It's like an uncontrollable laugh. And just out of curiosity, I want to know what's funny. So I'm like, what is funny? Like, what is going on? And that's when Tory butts in. And he's like, yeah, Meghann, why don't you tell your best friend what's so funny? Why don't you tell her how fake you are? And so I'm confused because this was random. And so I said, what? Like, what are you talking about? And Megann's like, Kelsey, don't listen to him. He's just trying to make you mad. And so I'm like, what are you talking about? And, next thing you know, the arguing, began with Tory and Meghann. They're arguing. They're taking jabs at each other. He's calling her out her name. He's calling her, I've never heard him speak like this.
So the stuff he was saying.
I can't honestly recall verbatim. He was definitely calling her bitches and hoes, and so I stepped in and I said, you're not going to talk to my friend like that. I don't care what y'all got going on, but you're not going to talk to her like that in front of me. So he got offended, and now me and him are arguing. And we're taking, honestly, when I argue, I can say things that are hurtful too. So he was saying mean things, so I was saying mean things back to him. And
do you remember any of the exchange?
I'm about to get to what I do remember. He began to say, I'm from, he just started I'm from Canada, basically, I guess insinuating that they're gangsters or something. I don't know. I'm from Canada, my nigga. Do you know? And I'm like, okay, and so now we're just going back and forth. It's I'm going back and forth with him. He's going back and forth with Meghann. And he said, my nigga, I'll shoot you. And so
He said that to you?
He said that to me. So he reached he was going to grab something. He reached towards the middle console, but he never pulled anything out.
Now, can you describe the middle console on the car? There's I assume some type of flat cover or whatever.
Correct.
And then when he reached towards it, you just saw what? His hand moving?
Yeah, it was just a motion that he reached. He never opened it or, so it was just a motion. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, and if you shoot me, then I guess it's my time to go, and if you shoot me, just know I have people who will ride behind me, in my support, and he's like, he's just talking mess still, him and Meghann, me and him. So then Meghann, I guess we're on Sunset Boulevard at this time, and Meghann demands for, sorry, that's mine.
Your ring. Mine.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Meghann demands for Quan to pull the vehicle over. So we pull over, and we're actually by a bus stop. Meghann jumps out the vehicle. Tory follows behind her. Quan stays in. I stay in. Because it's just we're in the middle of a road. We're just arguing. This is, So Tory and Meghann, they sit at the bus stop. They have, I don't know what conversation they had, a conversation if any. But when they got back in the vehicle, it was calm. Tory then began to...
When they got back in the vehicle, do you remember where everyone was sitting?
Yes, sorry. Meghann got back in the front seat. Tory got back in behind Quan, so behind the driver's seat. So it was calm. Everybody was calm. Tory then began to apologize to me. And he's just I'm sorry, Kelsey, you're just a real ass nigga, and I had to tell you. And I'm like, what?
An apology.
Right, and so I'm like, but he's saying it loud. And so Meghann can hear this. So that kind of stirred her back up. So now they're arguing back together. At this point, it's uncontrollable. Can't stop it.
And do you remember anything at this point that was being said between them?
At this point, they're arguing about each other's artistry as a career as an artist. She's telling him like you're only this and that because you're on a remix with Jack Harlow, and he's telling her things about her career as an artist, which I can't remember what he was telling her, but they just started hitting each other with their career as an artist. So now we're at the final, the next stop where the incident occurs, and this time Tory demands Quan to let us out. He's like, let these hoes out, let these bitches out the car. This is my car. And so we're like, okay, we'll get out. So he pulled the car over, and everything here transpires. Meghann jumps out of her seat, which is the front seat. I open up my door, which I'm behind Meghann. And when you're getting out of a vehicle, you're not really just like looking at any direction. You're just kind of getting out the vehicle, Especially, we didn't expect anything to happen next, so we're just getting out the vehicle. I get out of my side, and no sooner do you start hearing gunshots going off. I look up about it was 5 gunshots. I look up maybe at the second and third gunshot. That's when I look up, and you see Tory. He's now in the front seat. I guess he must have jumped over. It was very smooth transition because we didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. And he's leaning over. The door is open, and he's leaning over like the window.
Which door? Is it the rear door?
The front right. So where Meghann was sitting.
Okay, so his door's open in the driver's side.
My door's open in the back, and the front door is open to where Meghann got out. The front right passenger.
Both doors on the passenger side
are open. Correct. So.
And is he shooting through the window or over the top of the door?
No, he's shooting over the top of the door. So
and over the top of the door would be the rear passenger door.
The right front
passenger.
So, again, as I said, he must have jumped, or I don't know how he did it because it was very very smooth. And he was leaning over the front passenger door, and, she was shooting the gun.
Where were you standing at this point?
At this point, I'm standing kind of like my body's still like to the side behind the door, the rear passenger door. So I would say my left side was the rear passenger, and my right side was kind of like this. Like this is the door, and I'm.
Are you still partially in the car at this point?
No, I'm out of the vehicle. Okay. I'm out of the vehicle. I'm just not around my door yet.
Yeah.
So to speak on Meghann, so she was walking away when this happened, but by the third, fourth shot, and by the time I look up, she's facing towards us, and I've described it like a deer in headlights. Mm-hmm. I'm short. I'm 4'11". The vehicle is kind of a little raised up, higher than me, so I can't really see. I can only see from her chest up. That's all I can see. But the way Tory was angling the gun is kind of like, it wasn't like straight. It was like, down. Mm-hmm. Wheeling Meghann off, I believe in like a wheelchair or a bed. I can't recall. They put her in the ambulance, and they took us, to.
Did you ride an ambulance with her?
No.
A separate car?
I was in a cop car. Okay. I actually went to the jailhouse, and again, I thought that was a normal thing to do. Well, with this situation, I didn't know if I was supposed to be in an ambulance or anything. I don't know the rules. So they took us. They put me in a room. They came in. Took pictures, if I'm not mistaken. I honestly don't recall them swabbing my hand for any residue or anything. And
you don't recall it happening, but it could have happened. You just don't remember.
No, I really don't unless because I don't know how that works. Yeah. What the swab part is. Yeah. I don't even remember them disclosing that they were about to swab me, and I know that I would remember that unless again I had very high adrenaline. Maybe that part. I don't believe they swabbed me. Just that's my knowledge. I know they came in and took pictures. So stayed over. They took us, I guess, to a room. Asked if I wanted to say what happened, and I just just did what I know in situations like this for movies and stuff. I just asked for, I was going to get a lawyer. So the next morning, 8, they released me, and
So it was like 4 hours later or that you didn't spend the night at the jail, right?
definitely spent the night. Well, I mean, I was there all night.
It was that same night though.
Oh yes, that
Yeah.
same.
So
that
then
same,
you got released like
that
after
morning.
several hours that morning. Okay.
So when you get released, at some point you make a trip over to the hospital, correct?
So when I get released, they released me and Quan together, and outside of the jail, Quan said he made a comment and was like, "Money talks" or something similar to those words. I don't know.
Did you have him elaborate on that?
I was confused. He also said me from what he's like. You'll find out later. Like, everybody was playing mind games with me. I don't know what's going on.
Jail.
What's that?
Do you think we can go to jail?
I don't know. We're trying to figure it all out. As long as you guys cooperate with us and you guys tell us what happened, we'll go accordingly, okay? But if you guys are not telling us, if you guys are, then I don't think...
I really cannot go to jail.
Okay.
I cannot have that on my image.
Okay. So how did that happen to you?
Glass.
Glass? Where?
Where we were coming from. I'm not from here, so I...
Okay.
That's the only place you got shot at? That's the only place you got shot?
I didn't get shot.
Oh, you did it?
No, ma'am. No, sir.
She stepped on glass. She never got shot. I'm the one who said I stepped on glass. I was mine to protect all of us. I was mine to protect all of us. Mine to protect all of us. I was mine to protect all of us.
I ain't get cut by no glass, man. I ain't get cut by no glass.
Nobody has ever said she got shot. Not TMZ, not the police report at this point. Nothing is saying that she got shot.
You think I'm about to tell the police that we, niggas, us black people, got a gun in the car? You want me to tell the laws that we got a gun in the car so they can shoot all of us up?
My love, nobody ever reported that you got shot but you. So how are you trying to protect me?
It's like he was standing on the thing that you could stand on.
Like a step rail or something of the car? Because it was an SUV, the car you guys were in, right? So as the door is open and he's
like he has to have like 1 foot inside of the car.
Yeah.
And he's like shooting over the door.
Over the door. He's leaning over. And then when he's shooting over the door, you have a clear line of sight. And you see it's Tory and he's holding the gun. You saw him holding the gun?